Gotta feel more than blessed to be in Western Washington, one of the most beautiful places in the world. And a lot of that beauty can be seen from a hiking trail. So here's 16 hikes that I've personally done, covering all 4 seasons. All right, let's start this off with springtime at Wallace Falls. The trail winds along the Wallace River with continuous views of rapids and waterfalls. It's a hike for all levels. No matter how far up you make it, you're gonna catch good views. But keep in mind, they do get better the farther you go up. Little motivation to keep going. With springtime being the best time to see waterfalls, we're going to jump across the valley to another waterfall hike along Highway 2, Bridal Falls. Sitting on the side of Mount Index, the main part of this multi-tier waterfall cascades over a massive rock face. And you can walk right up to it. Now all this water flows down from Lake Serene, which is another hike that shares the same trail. But I think that's a better one for a hot summer day so you can jump in and swim. Our next hike is to a waterfall with much less flow, but a good one in late spring if you plan on getting in the water. Cherry Creek Falls. This is a fairly flat trail with some unique scenery along the way. Now we're heading over to I-90 for another low-flow waterfall, Teneriffe Falls, aka Kamikaze Falls. Now this is just a pretty basic hike up the side of Mount Teneriffe, until you get to the falls. You can stand right at the base of these steep rock cliffs looking up at the waterfall. There's even a little kiddie pool if you want to get in. Alright, now on to something a little more challenging. Mailbox Peak. Going up the old trail and down the new one. Search and rescue teams are frequently called to this trail to assist distressed hikers. Most of the way up, you're climbing steep tree roots. For the casual hiker, this could be challenging. For the avid hiker, it's just good training grounds. I like this one in summer. It makes you really appreciate that sun when you hit the boulder field. The sun is real nice. Now the new trail down is a little bit longer, but much easier on the knees with those switchbacks. And for another challenging hike, we have Mount Si, sitting high above the town of North Bend. Pretty much just a long hike through the woods until you get to the top, where it opens up for some breathtaking views. But for the real summit, there's a steep scramble up the haystack. The haystack up there. I think all the viewpoints here are pretty good year-round, but for the haystack, I prefer summer to avoid coming down those steep rocks when they're wet. Like I said, all the views are pretty good. This one here has our next hike in the background. Rattlesnake Ledge, another one to be careful of when you get to the top. This is one of the most popular hikes near Seattle, and for good reason too. A view of Mount Si and North Bend one way, and then the turquoise water of Rattlesnake Lake the other way. Now you do want to be cautious of that edge. I'm actually filming this with a long pole, so it looks more dramatic than it really is. And it's a perfect summer hike with that lake waiting for you to jump in when you get down. And for another hike with a lake to swim in, we have Olallie Lake. Just a hike up to a nice secluded lake in the woods with a little beach at the far end. And now, getting into late summer, early fall, we have Granite Mountain. This is one of the more challenging day hikes along I-90, but the scenery of granite boulders scattered across the landscape makes for unique views. Oh yeah, and the huckleberries are a nice bonus.
That sucker.
Now with autumn in full effect, we have the Index Town Wall along Highway 2. This is a short, steep hike through the forest that opens up on top of a huge rock cliff overlooking the town of Index and a canopy of fall-colored trees mixed in with the evergreens. Our next hike is more like a walk in the park. Bear Lake, which is not a very popular hike on the Mountain Loop Highway, but it's a good spot to chill if you're just looking for some peace out in nature. And now, onto what I think is one of the best fall hikes in Washington, Maple Pass Loop on Highway 20. Time it right and catch these larch trees that turn golden yellow for a couple weeks every year. The whole hike pretty much loops up and around Lake Anne with views in all directions of the North Cascades. Now, we're heading back to I-90 for Gold Creek Pond, where most of the year you can park right next to it. But once winter hits, it's actually a decent little hike from the road that loops around the pond. This is a good, flat trail for sightseeing and just stretching out the legs. For another easy access winter hike, we have Heybrook Lookout. The trailhead is right on the side of Highway 2. With With panoramic views of mountain peaks, this is a good sunrise hike, or sunset. And up the highway towards Stevens Pass, we have another roadside hike, Deception Falls. It's packed with views year-round. Great to stop by when it's raging in springtime, but even better on a cold winter day with fresh snowfall. And for more icicles, it's hard to beat Franklin Falls in the middle of winter. The road to the trailhead gets closed in wintertime, so parking just after getting off I-90 makes it a much longer hike. If you park up at Snoqualmie Pass, it's a shorter hike down, but then you miss out on some of the river views. Also a great one during summertime with that waterfall spray on a hot day. But at the right time during winter, these icicles really are something to see. Well, made it this far. I thank you for watching. I hope you got value out of this video. If so, do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more adventure videos, and maybe share it with someone who's looking for a hike. All right, till next time.